Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our coverage of the Malaysian teams in the iRacing Le Mans 24-hour race. We're now with SRE Team B, that's the Sim Racing Enthusiast Team B car now. We're watching Mohammed Mohimin. They're cruising through the Ford chicanes and onto the start-finish straight, following a back marker that he's about to lap fairly shortly. With me right now is Kelvinder. aka Kelvin, you'll know him from KSS Gaming, and yeah. So Kelvin, how's the race going for Team B so far?
Hello Max. Okay, race has been pretty interesting. We started out very nice and clean, and then we had a disconnection issue, server issue when Mohimin was about to take over. So then we ended up last on the grid, and then we have Zainul, we have Shahmi, we have myself, and we have Mohimin. We have been taking turns driving, and we have managed to bring the car back to 20th place. So far, yeah, so far so good. Yeah. Pretty scary driving at night. So far so good.
Yeah. I mean, it's a unique challenge, Le Mans at night, because some parts are lit and some parts are definitely in the deepest, darkest depths, especially with the headlights. The actual area of Le Mans doesn't get too dark because it's summertime in Europe, but obviously with these bright, high-intensity headlights, the dark bits get even darker, it seems. So just to go over the driver lineup and how the team sort of got together. I understand it's a bit of a last-minute thing for you guys to enter Le Mans this year.
Yeah, correct. For Team A, it was they were going at it strong, but for Team B, we just wanted to take it chill. Whoever want to experience the car can try driving it for a few stints or what. We didn't plan to take it so seriously, but then it turned out that everybody got very motivated, and everybody started taking it more seriously. Yeah. So yeah, here we are.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great experience for all the guys involved because of the. I mean, Le Mans is just one of the. It was the original endurance race, and to be able to compete in it, and it's nice to see that all the guys are taking it seriously and going through the plans, and thinking about the stint lengths and things like that. Speaking of stint lengths, I hear that Mohimin and yourself have taken quite long stints during the race. Has that affected you in any way when it comes to staying alert?
Well, on my first stint was okay. Second stint, I had a spin. It definitely gets very tiring. Yeah. So the long breaks in between, that really helps. I think Mohimin had driven the longest. I think he's on his stint number 6, 5 or 6. So yeah, Mohimin has driven the longest. But the hardest thing is to keep focus when you feel tired. Just a small little slip up and you will just make a mistake. So yeah, it's quite challenging. But the breaks in between definitely helps.
So do you have any sort of tactics or techniques you use to try and unwind after a stint or before you're getting ready for the next stint, or is it just a case of getting in there and going for it?
As soon as the current driver is going to end the stint, I just sit myself here, get prepared, think, empty my thoughts, get in the car, and the first thing I focus is I mean, all of us. The first thing that we do is just try to go out there, cold tires, first 2 laps, take it slow, and then
Yeah.
speed up and try to be as consistent as possible.
Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah.
So do you guys have any sort of target, like target time, lap time, or anything like that, or is it just a case of keeping it between the lines?
Well, of course, each of us have our own style of, or how to say, our own racing lines, our own lap times, our own pace. So the most important thing is for us to drive within our pace and just be as consistent as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the hardest part is being consistent because sometimes you get traffic. And
Yeah.
luckily for our split, our server, we only have GTE cars, so all the multi-class is not there. So that helps also
Yeah.
in managing the traffic.
I mean, we've heard from some of the other Malaysian teams competing in Le Mans in the highest splits, having to deal with the LMP1 and LMP2 cars have been absolutely harrowing so far. Some of the guys overtaking around the outside of the Porsche curves and really silly places like that. So it must be a bit of a blessing to be able to get into Le Mans in a way that you don't have to worry about the speed difference.
Yeah, definitely. When I got into the server, I'm like, what? We are all GTEs, and I was like, okay, at least we can just chill just slightly because the
Yeah.
LMP cars are crazy. They will just overtake you and they're so bloody fast. Crazy. It's just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they definitely wake you up when you go past, especially the LMP1 cars. Watching the onboard from earlier in the day was just scary.
Yeah, it is, man.
Yeah.
Because they have so much grip, they can just take you on the outside. It's crazy. So yeah, we are pretty blessed on that.
Yeah. But so far, no problems with the traffic.
So far, so good. There are times where our car is faster than a lead lap car in front, and we are the back marker. And sometimes they realize that and they just give us way. But sometimes we get into incidents with a back marker, like we had just now. A Porsche was a back marker, and he overtook us, and he spun right in front of us, and we couldn't avoid. So sometimes, some drivers are like that. But other than that, traffic-wise, it's been good. So with just one single class running, so it's been quite empty, quite chill. So it's not so hectic. Yeah.
I mean, that's the good part about the iRacing sort of attitude towards Le Mans, this sort of more open format that you do have classes and splits that are sort of more geared to the first-time endurance driver. It's going to be very hard to try and deal with a multi-class format, especially something like Le Mans, where the top cars, if they were unrestricted, would be quicker than Formula 1 cars, and you have GTE cars, which are barely any faster than GT3 car nowadays. It's a bit difficult to try and learn how to be a good endurance racer in that sort of situation. So a race like this, a split like this rather, would be really nice for the guys to try and learn, especially learn the track and learn Le Mans and the whole race and what it's all about. Yes.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. It's sort of like a ground where we can train ourselves just to get a little bit taste of managing traffic and all. But yeah, it's been very interesting, very hard-pacing, and pretty interesting experience. We've got so many teams in Malaysia competing, so that feeling is just priceless. You can't compare that feeling. It's very nice.
Yeah, I mean, I know quite a few of the drivers who've done Spa and especially Bathurst, but I think this is the most amount of Malaysian teams we've sent to Le Mans for this year. So it looks like it's a good sign for sim racing here in Malaysia. Oh, the forward chicanes always get me. It's amazing how the cars don't break over those curves. So you're finding any place on the track that you have to drive differently through the night compared to the daytime?
The last section, the twisty part, I'm not exactly sure the names, but those twisty uphill, downhill section, you got to drive a little bit more slower.
Yeah.
I feel on the whole track that last section is just It's one of the toughest part. You got to really focus 200%. It's crazy.
I mean, that's the Porsche curves and things like that. Just after, basically, you've been driving on open highways, basically, and you get into the sort of that custom design section right at the end of the lap, and it's an interesting set of corners. The LMP1 cars generate up to about 5G of G-force around there, and it's kind of frightening just to watch. And having driven it in a couple of sims in the past, it's pretty scary to drive around there. So kudos to the guys who can do the same lap times in the daytime than at night, and it's blind as well. So I think that's what a lot of people have realized, that when you get into Porsche curves, there's like 3 or 4 corners and you don't see the corner until you're on top of them. That's why you see the crazy passing attempts.
Yeah, that's very, very difficult, especially if you're alone. You can't see much, so just take it slow on the throttle and it should be okay.
So do you have anybody spotting for you, or are you just using the iRacing spotter? Has that been okay for you?
Yeah, Crew Chief has been great. It's one of the best spotters out there. iRacing spotter is pretty good as well, but Crew Chief has more information. Like it tells you have less fuel when a faster car is approaching, those things. Yeah, it's definitely a handy tool.
Yeah, so you'd say it's definitely a plus point if any of the guys out there want to get into endurance racing. Crew Chief does seem to be the best thing to have, especially for these long endurance races.
Yes, definitely. Of course, the other thing is that when you do endurance, you have to have someone constantly on standby to give information, vital information, cars approaching.
Yeah.
So if you have your own spotter as part of the team, that will be the best thing ever, because you don't use Crew Chief, so that will be so much better.
Yeah. So I mean, that's again, when it comes to spotters, it can be a bit of a personal thing, almost like a co-driver in rallying.
Yes.
Sometimes you want very, very detailed descriptions, and some drivers just want the bare minimum. So I guess it's one of those things you've got to try out what's right for you, whether you can use Crew Chief or the iRacing spotter, or if you need to go delve deeper, or even get a friend to stay up. Perhaps through the night would be the best place to have a human spotter, I reckon.
Yeah. I think the last endurance where I was fortunate enough to be a part of, I think we had Tengku Irshad, who is part of the SRE. He literally, he was like our captain. He stayed awake the entire 12 hours and he was there the whole time. So very, very nice of him to help us out like that. So pretty cool.
Yeah. And when you have something like that, it's not just the driving; it's the morale as well. You know, there's someone else that you can contact and call on, ask questions if need be, and generally keep your hopes up, because it can get a little bit lonely pounding around the track.
Yes.
It's not just a physical game; it's a mental one as well, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. So to have someone constantly there throughout the entire endurance, just to guide us, give us information. It's like a big brother just taking care of us, so that's a very good feeling, very nice.
Speaking of brothers, I just noticed we had Michael there. Little comment down there. Hi Matt. Hi Michael. Why aren't you racing? We need. I know the trials and tribulations he's had to try and get the license to try and join us on this event, but hopefully we'll see him for Spa later on, or perhaps another endurance event further on down the line. But it's nice to see a whole group of people getting into sim racing, both real racing drivers and just race fans, getting into it and getting serious about it. It's fantastic. So I know Hazim there saying, hello lads. Right back at you, mate. Protashuna, good luck Team B. And Zain Hazim, just want to say I'll be taking over the car at 12 a.m. So there we go, we have some inside information there, with a driver change scheduled at
12 to 2.
Yeah. So that's coming into the graveyard hours. I'm actually in your Discord, but scared to talk on broadcast. Don't be scared, lad.
Segan malu-malu.
Jangan segan.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hello. So it's me, Zainul here. Y'all can call me Zai.
All right. Hi, Zai.
Hi. So we're watching Mohammed right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be taking over the car later lah. I don't know how many laps he's got. We all know if he's on how many laps on his stint right now.
1.7. Hold on, yeah.
So he's got a lot more fuel lah.
Right. So it should be good for quite a few more laps to go then.
Okay. So we'll just watch right now. You know.
Yeah. So what's going through your head right now, Zai, when you're just about to get into the car?
Honestly, quite nervous because I've been looking at their lap times and everybody's maintaining like Kelvinder has been maintaining a good sub 4-minute lap. So yeah, and minimal mistakes. So
Yeah.
actually that's my goal right now. I just
Yeah.
want to try to make as little mistakes as possible. And yeah, the lap times I hope they'll come, but I can't seem to get consistent sub 4-minute lap time lah, like Kevin
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. But I mean,
Yes.
also the other thing you got to worry about is that at Le Mans around this time of night, it's what they call the graveyard shift. So realistically, what you really want to do is just to avoid any big mistakes and make sure you bring the car through the night in one piece.
Yeah, exactly. This is when concentration suddenly drops and mistakes can happen. It happened to me just now in my second stint. I think at the end of my 2-hour drive, I was I don't know. I made quite a lot of errors in a string. Yeah, like in all in one lap.
Yeah.
Because I think concentration dropped and I panicked a bit and I tried to go faster, but that's not what you should do. You should just stay calm and try to recover the pace.
Yeah.
I made a big mistake there. I think it was pressured by the car behind, so
Okay, guys, sorry to interrupt. Mohammed will be getting into the pits by end of this lap.
End of this lap.
Yes.
It's quite early. Alright, so I'll have to get out of this Discord because I'll be streaming myself.
Alright.
So okay. Wish me luck.
Yeah.
Right. I'll try to keep it clean.
Yeah.
See you guys later. Bye bye.
Alright. We'll be wishing Zai the best of luck, and if you guys want to carry on watching the race when we go offline, we'll be running the stream a little bit longer after we get off the stream. And you also have guys like Kelvinder and Zai there streaming right through the night. So do check out their channels. If you can't find the Le Mans coverage on us, you can definitely find it on the drivers' pages. And we hope that Zai will be able to get a nice clean run through the night, because that's the big danger here at Le Mans. The cloak of darkness tends to turn people a little bit mad. Like even in real life, when you have professional racers of the caliber of Neil Yanni or Alan McNish having big accidents at this hour of the night, just through a lapse of concentration, trying to overtake a car through the Dunlop curves and around the outside, and doing silly things like that. It really is a case of trying to just get going through the race and through the night as smooth as possible, and hopefully you'll get out into the early morning in the right place and you'll get a second wind. And I remember the original Malaysian Merdeka Millennium Endurance race way back in the day when we used to start at midnight and race all the way to noon. And it's always from that hour to the early hours of the morning that drivers seem to take leave of their senses. So it's really a mental game now, more than it is a physical or a speed game. In the meantime, I can try and update you guys on the time if my SDK would work. Yeah. Alrighty. Even the overlay is having problems through the night. I tell you, sometimes I think that these hours are the ones that are a little bit haunted. Zai is just saying, guys, if Mohammed could do one more lap, I can prep better.
Tak boleh, petrol dah habis. Petrol habis.
We forgot to fit the pedals and the bicycle chain to the car so they could get it to the pits after that one. So yeah, Muhaimin is at lap 196. Yeah, his last lap was a 3:57. It's not bad pace so far for considering the split. Basically, only between 2 to 3 seconds lap behind the major group in front. Obviously, some of the guys at the very sharp end of the field have probably managed to sneak some really quick guys in there, but Zena has him, okay, loading, taking a while, old PC. Yikes. I'm guessing the trick now will be that he'll have to the car will have to stay in the pits until Zainal can get into the car, or if Mohammed decides to drive further. This is some tense moments from the guys there. The car is now in the pits. Will Zai be able to get into the car in time? This can be the problem with endurance racing, is that there's a lot of outside factors that can sort of lose you time in the pits. We used to call it figure trouble in real life, when you drop a wheel nut, or if the driver miscues and he's too far away from the pits, one lap from the pit entry. Right now we've got Kelly behind, he's on pit exit as well. We've got a lap to try and get ahead of Peterson. Well, basically at this stage of the race, unless you've gone on a completely different strategy in the first few hours, you'll have to basically pit with the rest of them. So Kelly has gone out. Now Peterson is the majority of a lap behind, so there's still 3 minutes or so, 3.5 minutes before he'll overtake us on the straight.
Hello.
Hiya.
Hello.
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 Can you hear us?
Dengar. Oh, korang cover team B malam ni?
Ya. Siapa di sana?
Oh, boleh tak pun
Muhammad.
tak update lagi. Lambat gila boleh tu malam ni.
Hai Muhammad.
Ulatih. Dustin.
So bagaimana keadaan di luar sana, di hutan yang gelap tu?
Aduh, dengan gelap, dengan track condition, rubber, very slippery.
Memang slippery ya.
Ah,
Kita dapat report daripada tim A pun yang banyak insiden lock up rear tyre sebab grip levels dah semakin kurang dah. So memang kira condition bahaya sikit lah malam ni kan.
careful sikit lah, under braking. Senang snap.
So ada apa-apa insiden lagi daripada just condition slippery ke, ada apa-apa lain yang nak direportkan?
ada back marker yang laju, mungkin turn driver yang laju dan reckless, bahaya sikit lah.
That's,
Itu yang
itu driver yang tadi saya cakap tu.
oh,
Nama dia Jack.
Dia Porsche orange tu.
Itulah kadang-kadang dekat malam-malam macam ni nanti Porsche privateer tiba-tiba fikir macam dia nyanyi pula. Out of the blue just attack macam tu kan. So lain daripada tu just kena careful sikit. Kita nampak pun apa Zai macam nampak macam dia punya tire temperature still sejuk lagi. Dekat first chicane tadi dia miss sikit braking point. Bila keluar dekat pit ni memang merisaukan sikit ya.
Betul. Dia keluar tu outlet ni macam belakang tu asyik buang je dah.
So memang tak boleh try untuk fast lap straight off lah. Dia kena build up sikit-sikit.
Bagi 2 lap tengok macam mana. Bahagian belakang pun rasa dah tak stabil pun. Mungkin bekas kena langgar ke apa tu. Saya loose sikit lah.
So sekarang kena adjust dia punya driving style sikit. Ada adjust benda-benda technical lain untuk try to mitigate. Sebab kalau tak silap hanya ada tire pressure je kan yang boleh dia adjust.
Tak pasti. Tak sempat untuk testing.
Fresh tire ke?
Dulu.
Fresh tire
brake
ke
tire.
Sorry.
Zana Hadizm has just gone off the track at Indianapolis there. He's missed the braking zone and gone into the gravel. He's hit the wall.
I mean, ni fresh tire ke?
Fresh tire.
Sejuk ni.
Tadi saya dah 2 stint.
Ya. Tapi masalahnya fresh tire pun dangerous juga. Bukan saja sebab dia kena warm up, tapi bila tire tu terlepas daripada mold, daripada acuan dia ada berminyak sikit. So masa zaman dulu, masa kita still allowed untuk ada warm up, kita akan cuba keluar, scrub satu set tire, masuk ke dalam, practice pit stop, keluar, scrub lagi satu set tire just to get the oil keluar tu, bagi dia cepat sikit nak warm up. Tapi zaman sekarang sebab dia memang strict untuk tire regulation, just terpaksa kena pasang lah. So that was a big problem back in the old days. We were allowed to scrub the tires, but nowadays with rental tires and confidential tires, you're basically only allowed to just bolt them on and go for it. And hopefully you'll have a set or two of tires that are in good enough condition to put for the final hour. But obviously in iRacing, it's still just pakai new tire all the time lah kan. Dia tak ada variasi tu.
Semua ni tire. Ada limit set tire.
Tire.
Tayar baru dan kereta berat full tank. Kena careful sikit.
So far M8 ni tengah jaga driver dia okey tak?
Adalah kesan-kesan je sikit tapi okey lah.
Okay lah, sebagai kereta endurance tu rasa macam stable lah.
Stable. Tapi rasa agak sensitif lah. Senang hilang top speed kalau rosak ke apa ke.
So ni memang aero sensitif lah. Itulah last tahun lepas tu tengok Jimmy Broadbent punya stream, dia punya meme pada tahun lepas tu floor damage, random floor damage. bawa prototype kan. So itulah kesannya untuk sensitif, berapa sensitif kereta sekarang dengan aero damage. Tapi itu dia kita dapat masuk 10th.
Tak tahulah apa pasal. Is it really 10 now? Cuba mainin. Sekarang dia actually nombor berapa?
Tak mungkin. Sekarang 19.
That's why dekat timing, dekat overlay ni jadi bengong sikit ni.
Quick, someone screenshot this.
Impossible. It's nothing.
I think it's frozen actually.
Yeah, the position. I don't know lah.
Sekarang P19
P19.
ada satu kereta depan, same lap.
Alright.
Try reset balik. Sebab this is all one category kan. Maybe the confusing kat situ lah.
Betul.
Sekejap
GTE only.
Tak ada langsung
Baik,
LMP.
bro.
Still, I hope someone has actually screenshot this.
Masa yang team A tadi kan, dia jadi nombor 1 sekejap tau.
Oh.
Aku tak display lah, takut nanti orang cakap apa kan.
Crew chief pun sama, dia report position salah.
Yeah. Mungkin sebab overload sikit dia punya timing server for reporting out of the server lah.
Boleh sistem kita ni dia ambil data daripada iRacing live kan. So dia proses. So bila dia dah bottleneck dekat iRacing nak keluarkan tu. So
Itu yang
dia starvation lah. Dia bila dia jadi benda-benda macam ni lah yang glitchy things like this.
Yeah.
Might as well I turn off dulu the leaderboard lah. Confusing lah. Nak turn off pun dia tak
Before
keluar.
But before we do that, just tengoklah dia punya team names tu memang fantastic.
24 hours of lemons.
Quick, vote in the comment section down below. Which one is your favorite team name?
This one okay lagi, shake and bake semua kan. Kita tengok yang split one. Milo team, Ovaltine.
Team Milo, Team Ovaltine. Here we've got Magnanimous Motorsports.
We got
Lockdown Limited. Valuable Slide.
Got one barrel rollers orange.
Oh man.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake.
That's the best one.
That's the best one so far lah. AIE Racing Orange right now is just changing classes. There we go. Okay, but All Alone Racing is now in the lead, followed by Maai Panjang ni punya nama tu. I mean, it's a good cause, sim races for mental health motorsports, but keep fighting the good fight. Green AV team, this isn't really that green. Kalau masuk LMP1 mungkin green jugalah tapi Neo Gravity Racing, Seattle iRacing main community. Ada lagi satu team community juga.
Macam tak percaya, nombor 19 lagi last 50 lepas DC tadi.
Yeah, man.
So that just goes to show, as long as you keep going, never give up, and keep the incidents down to a minimum, you can climb up the leaderboard.
Kelvin dia banyak dapat position tadi kan?
Kelvin dia great system.
Tak adalah, saya
S driver.
Awak je tak tengok. Awak je.
Itu yang dia naik cepat tu. Dia bawa aja. Don't tell me the position, don't tell me nothing. I know what I'm doing. Leave me alone.
Macam bisa dengar.
Yep, we found our Kelvin Raikkonen.
Muak. No comment.
Wow. That's like me
You
after
tengok
really
even the overlay punya clock pun dah glitchy tau. Dia ni 1 second takes forever kan.
Oh my god.
Lambat sikit.
I mean, it was always never super accurate, like when the checker flag during some of the races that we've been using this overlay on, it's always been a little bit late, but still risau sikit nanti tengok.
Esok Arab race esok okay lah. Tapi by the time esok our race is 10-11 tu should be okay because the 9pm nya Limans punya session dah habis dah kan time tu.
Yalah.
Takut isu berat apa nanti kan.
Tapi aku rasa okay lah sebab dia dah keluar 9pm punya session pun dah keluar.
Lagipun 9pm kita baru start practice 1 hour. Just
Who on earth has the gall to name the team Proximity Racing? Tak pernah pergi Le Mans ke?
tengok dah hilang. Padahal aku suruh hide dah lama dah tadi.
Lag.
Ini kalau first person shooter memang ke laut lah.
Playing CSGO like 20, like especially on Discord, you have like the frame rate's like 24 FPS. And there's a massive lag and you're like, oh man,
Mati je lah.
itulah. Camp je lah. Camp baling grenade.
Sembunyi. Zainal 2 stint
Yeah, correct. That's funny lah, you guys.
You see, this is what we need, some humor in our racing. Or some racing in our humor, one or the other, I'm not sure. Tapi ni baru fun, endurance racing. Kalau tak fun nanti boring.
Yang tu.
Itulah. Tak mengantuk sangat kan.
Gelak-gelak dah bangun.
Yeah. You have to imagine when I was working at endurance team, dia punya sense of humor memang dark dan memang rude. Drivers pun sama. Masa kat luar race, buat apa-apa kan, masa MME zaman dulu apa semua kan. Tapi masa dalam race, dalam pit tu tahulah, tiba-tiba orang jadi gila sikit.
Stress.
Tapi okey lah. So nak survey sikit, ada tak favourite corner tak pada kalangan-kalangan ni yang berada dalam server?
High speed like King sebelum hard left tu.
Indianapolis. Yang pelik lah ni corner tu. Of all the corners, they decided that should be banned.
Last time tak ada chicane kan, the old Le Mans.
Back straight panjang.
Tapi lagi bahaya, 7 km, I think almost a minute and a half just flat out.
Kereta terbang semua bro, gila.
Yalah. Dia punya hub pun dah kurang. Dulu betul-betul bukit. Macam kat sini zaman sebelum downforce 50s and 60s, they have to start braking here or backing off at least, going around this corner, and then the road went far more uphill. So macam sampai tahap pokok-pokok tu, lepas tu drop. Selepas 90-an dia akan drop, dia orang stop buat reprofile jalan tu lah, untuk bagi dia selamat sikit.
Safety issue.
Ya, 3 biji Mercedes backflip. Kalau motor backflip tak apalah, sengaja kan. Funnily enough, trivia, salah satu daripada orang driver yang backflip tu Mark Webber.
Whatever kan.
Ya. Dia cakap dia boleh nampak the tops of the trees. As I was backflipping, when I was upside down, I could see the tops of the trees. Not the tree bark, the top of the trees.
Tinggi je. Lompat.
Tengok video tu seram.
Ada footage
Ada. Just look up Mercedes backflip Le Mans 99 kot tu silap.
Okay. Boleh cari.
Banyaklah cerita daripada Le Mans ni. Yang salah satu sebab yang diorang buangkan chicane tu sebab ada team Peugeot masa diorang first masuk, diorang as semi-privateer WM Peugeot. So ada salah satu daripada driver buat proposal kat team untuk buat satu special kereta in conjunction with aircraft company Cooliers, called Project 400. So diorang still ada record for closed circuit trap speed 407 km per hour lepas Monsang Street. Kalau tak silap ada footage kereta tu testing, tapi not the 400 km record lah.
Cuma testing ke join official race?
During the official race, hour 4 I think. Kereta tu tak finish pun. Memang kereta tu just meant to get the record. That's it.
Oh.
Yeah, by hour 6 the car retired. Engine blown. Serius, diorang tak kisah.
Sekejap je.
Kalau boleh dalam first lap tu dapat rekod tu, aku rasa second lap diorang dah retired kereta tu. Itulah karakter-karakter dekat Le Mans.
Dapatkan glory.
Dia zaman 50-an, team Jaguar ada satu kereta yang kena disqualified, accidentally disqualified sebab dia tukar pintu tapi nama tu nombor masa praktis lah. Nombor kat sebelah pintu tu dia lupa nak tukar. So dia disqualified pasal benda tu. So the two drivers, masa tu gentleman driver, yang pergi lah party. Nak buat apa lagi kan? Just gonna watch the race next time, and by the time, okay, this was in the 50s and even then it was a bad idea. So dia orang pergi tidur pukul 5 pagi, bangun pukul 1 petang, ada phone call daripada dia orang punya manager dekat dia punya hotel. Dah beratus-ratus phone call, where are you, we're gonna start sebab dia orang reversekan decision.
What? Party.
Yup. And
party before race.
Yeah.
Hungover. Miss the race.
Yup.
My God.
I'm trying to remember the guy's name. The famous team. Dia dah pernah menang sekali sebelum ni. Tapi dia menang tahun tu.
Gentleman driver ni wajib rule dia ke mesti ada seorang ke?
Only for GTE M or GTLM M, sorry. So dalam kelas ni LMP1 can be full pro. LMP2 I think you have to have one driver that is not ex-LMP1 or something. Dia ada dia punya specific rule lah, tapi still not considered gentleman.
Amateur pro.
It's not Tom Christensen lah. Bukan level macam. And then GTE Pro is full factory drivers. Tak kisah ex-F1 driver ke apa. Macam ada dua ex-F1 driver dekat Scuderia AF Corsa. Fisichella and Gianmarina Bruni, both ex-F1 drivers masuk Le Mans. GTE Pro, GTE M sama dengan GT3. So you have to have one gentleman driver. You're only allowed to have one gold-rated driver. So betul-betul Pro M punya team lah. Tapi gentleman driver memang kira tradition dekat Le Mans ni. Even in LMP2 memang banyak gentleman driver masuk.
Macam mana dia pilih duit?
There's qualifying races. So you kena ada you have to either win Asian Le Mans in your class, or European Le Mans or American Le Mans series, or you have to win or place highly in Petit Le Mans, or
ada fireworks ke tu? Tu
Ferris wheel. Yeah.
Ada.
So dia you have to, you kira price lah untuk menang race ni is invitation to race at Le Mans. And then they fill out the rest of the field with any extra cars that the organizers deem fit. And traditionally, the final garage in the end of that long pit road, you see a whole bunch of like garage yang macam just last minute dia orang tambah dekat end of the pit building. That final one is garage 56, which is officially the experimental garage. So tradition kat Le Mans, dia akan bagi satu entry kepada kereta yang alternative fuel ataupun macam delta wing ataupun just crazy concept lah. As long as it's not faster than LMP1 car, they'll let anybody compete as a Garage 5600. So we've had hydrogen powered cars. The first diesel powered cars were Garage 56. Panos 1 year in 1997, they were the first team to enter an international race with a hybrid system in the GT car.
Hybrid. Awalnya.
Hybrid pakai lead acid batteries. Kereta 2000 kilo.
Gila juga slow.
Yalah. Extra horsepower tapi berat lagi. Tapi banyak benda yang inovatif masuk kat Le Mans. So itu adalah salah satu daripada tradition kat Le Mans. Banyaklah tradition pelik dekat Le Mans. Macam dia punya scrutineering not at the circuit, dekat dalam village, Le Mans village. Ya, so dia akan unload dekat dalam pekan. Dia akan tak adalah jauh sangat. Macam lepas Dunlop Curves apa tu yang opening section tu kan, corner nak masuk Mulsanne Straight kan, kalau kau masuk kiri dalam 5-10 minutes.
Corner MotoGP tu.
Ya, lepas corner MotoGP kan dia masuk dekat straight ni, Mulsanne Straight. Instead of turning right, you turn left and you go head off to Le Mans town. Yeah. So 5-10 minutes away. Yelah, macam Salak Tinggi dengan Sepang lah kira distance dia. Tapi dia orang akan buat full blown pesta lah. So dia orang team akan unload kereta semua dekat situ. Dia orang akan scrutineering kat situ. Dia orang akan driver parade dekat dalam town tu. Baru dia orang akan bawa barang semua untuk masuk dalam circuit.
Okay, itu dia Muhaimin. Kalau kau nak tahu ni buku teks motorsport ada
sejarah.
I didn't get this job for nothing.
Melvin cakap Matt. Hi Matt.
Hi Melvin.
Suruh dia masuk lah sini Discord.
Come on over. We're having lots of fun here right now. Sekarang kita nampak ada lagi banyak sikit dia punya racing team name yang aku baru perasan. Race Stars, fantastic. The race is still being led by All Alone Racing. I hope it's not just one guy driving that car. Oh man.
Lone Ranger.
Habis barbecue, jom join.
Jangan.
Sini ada barbecue juga.
If you're not careful, turn into a roasting session.
Roasting barbecue lain lah. Janganlah roast kat sini. Kesian orang nak habis race.
Itulah baru keluar kereta race masuk dekat dalam Discord server. What do you get? Kena maki pula. Nasib baik Macil tak masuk.
Macil silap lagi dia cari headset tu masuk.
Team position 45. Disabled Military Veterans Racing.
Well, good on them, you know.
Kino apa dia tu?
45.
Yang Joe Stickle bawa. Well, it just goes to show anybody can get into sim racing, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yep. Aussie Formula Racing 993. How many teams do you have? It's just these guys that filled up the iRacing server. I want to know what the other 932 guys are. So far we've had a fairly incident-free race during this broadcast. Harap-harap continue macam tu. nampaknya position comfortable 19 knock on wood.
Tak jauh dari orang belakang.
Depan pun agak jauh. So sekarang kita just maintain position, I guess.
Maintain pace.
Jauh betul latency dia kata di lap time baru keluar. Padahal dah lama lepas start finish kan.
Dah half track dah ni.
Sakit hati lah tengok ni. Nasib baik masa kita punya event okey. Let me check now. Right now ada server berapa orang? Tadi siang ada 12,000 orang masuk server server iRacing.
Oh, ramai gila.
Siang tadi tau. Sekarang 10,000 lah.
Dia nampak macam driving dekat Singapore at night. So yang corner selepas yang Zainul baru masuk tu kan, yang baru keluar tu kan, Mulsan corner, at the end of Mulsan Street, pit signal dulu, zaman dulu dibagi dekat sana, bukan dekat pit straight. Yeah. And in fact, still today, there's still a pit wall there, dan still ada spotters kat situ for weather spotting purposes.
Yang mana second chicken ke tadi?
Tak, dekat Mulsan Corner, yang hujung-hujung Mulsan Street tu. Kan masuk pusing kanan tu, tiba-tiba ada nampak macam street light kan. Kat situ lah second signalling area. Sebab track ni panjang sangat, kalau ada apa-apa masalah ni kena ada somebody dekat hujung track. And also sebab dia punya weather kat sini pelik sikit. Kadang dia akan rain dekat Mulsan corner tapi dry dekat pit. Itu yang bahaya tu. Macam spa lah.
Track panjang sangat.
Tapi yang paling best Nürburgring lah. Can snow during the 24 hours. Itu aku dah no comment. Julai lagi tu. Julai tu best sikit.
Saji lagi.
Itulah. Bukan first time kena macam tu. Ingat aku baca sekali kat Autosport ke apa, Walter Rowe bincang pasal Le Mans, pasal Nürburgring 24. Halfway through the lap, fall. Halfway through the second lap, thick fall. Dan sebab dia ada experience rally. Dia cakap yang apa section tu, Flugplatz, naik bukit tu tak nampak atas bukit.
Kabus pagi ke apa tu?
Dia tak tahu lah kabus pagi ke apa. Aku rasa kabus pagi lah, tak silap.
Sebab bukit yang tu kan? Bahaya.
Ya, macam genting lah tempat tu.
Mulsan Street ni open road Mulsan Street ni? Hari biasa?
Dia bukan saja jalan biasa. Dia memang kira main road.
Daily usage?
Daily usage lah. Itu yang dia bumpy sangat. Kalau tengok onboard dekat Le Mans LMP1 punya prototype, dia punya ujung tu naik turun je, macam speedboat dekat Mulsan tu. Not only main road, tapi dia road yang memang truckers punya favourite road untuk hantar barang.
Ni
so memang kira abuse lah jalan ni. Walaupun dalam bahasa Inggeris dia orang panggil street ni Mulsan Street, tapi dalam bahasa Perancis hanya selekoh dekat hujung je yang dipanggil Mulsan.
Last je.
Aku baru je kena ajar sebab masa aku buat team A punya stream, dia orang kawan-kawan Perancis aku kutuk aku habis lah. Tak tahu dah. tapi aku dapat. The name of the street is Unondier.
Apa tu?
Unondier.
Apa tu?
Tu lah nama street yang kita panggil Mulsanne Street. The street itself is actually called Le Unondier. Le Unondier. Kalau kau tengok dekat Google pun kau takkan dapat dia punya pronunciation. Nasib baik kawan aku WhatsApp voice note baru aku dapat. Oh, okay.
Oh, tu nama betul je, nama betul.
Radion, yeah, that was we're talking about the yes, that was we're talking about the Mulsanne Strait, the strait leading up to Indianapolis, I believe, Radion. But yeah, it's crazy juga lah cerita yang track ni ada. Macam catch racing pun benda yang invented dekat Le Mans.
Mana
Catch
KFC
racing.
dia? KFC.
KFC dah lepas.
First straight.
Kalau macam selekon ni S Ducati buka track kat situ, kat belakang situ aku rasa kalau tak silap ada dia punya patisserie. Kalau pit crew nak makan ke apa kan. Lepas tu dia punya suite sebelum Fort Chicane tu macam dealership yang dia letak.
Mana border track ni circuit ni? Dia track ni dalam track. Apa tu
Dia punya region ada satu signboard kat sini. Kita tunggu je lah signboard tu. Aku dia cerita tak. Yang masalah ni nak kena ingat dan kena ingat dia punya pronunciation tu.
Tu betul.
Pays de la Loire. Itu pun confirm silap, itu pun confirm kawan aku nanti ajak balik. But for all intents and purposes, kebanyakan tipu aku pakai English name lah. Dia punya corner-corner tentu macam Maison Blanche dengan S dah cutting biasa dalam bahasa Inggeris yang just panggil Porsche curves lah section tu yang sebelum Final Chickens.
Le Mans ni bandar ke, kampung ke, region ke apa, daerah ke apa, negeri ke apa?
Asalnya kampung tapi dah jadi macam bandar kecil lah. Le Mans maksudnya two swans.
Tu apa?
Two swans.
Tu swans.
Ya. Dia pelik sikit lah bahasa Perancis ni nak dapat dia punya inflection. The circuit name is actually not Le Mans. It's Circuit de la Sarthe. Ya, itu nama region dia. Lepas tu dia punya department yang aku butcher pronunciation tadi.
Oh, de la Sarthe.
Yeah. Dia punya club yang run event ni pun bukan FFSC. Dia unik sikit. Even pronunciation tu pun aku dah sakit.
It's French.
Yeah. Aku cuba belajar bahasa dulu tapi tak rasa. It's easier to speak Japanese than French.
Oh, betul.
Dia tulis pakai huruf Inggeris tu, itu yang paling sakit hati. Tapi pronunciation lain lah. And I'm Welsh. So you cuba bayangkan orang dari Wales cakap tu. Yeah.
Sorry?
It's the most sexiest language.
Oh yeah, you can say things like that.
You know?
Yeah.
Sexiest accent.
Oh, you can say something really rude and disgusting and it sounds sexy. I'm not going to give you an example because we're live.
PM.
Aduh. I can teach you a lot. Tapi bukan sebab aku belajar Perancis, sebab aku pernah dulu kerja dengan mekanik Perancis masa dia masuk dekat Malaysia. Still to this day, orang Michelin apa semua tu. It's an education, but it's not a very good one. So we're still chasing the Shift F1 Enduro Team Sediran Berhad Inallah edition. At least we came up with like a relatively short name.
Happy Father's Day.
Oh yeah. Happy Father's Day to everyone watching. Selamat Hari Bapa. Hari Ayah.
Semua boleh.
Yeah. Hari Bapa, ya itu dia.
What did you give your dad, Matt?
A hard time. A hard time and 3 cans of beer.
So kalau hari biasa, mana pagar dia antara Circuit Bugatti ni dengan jalan?
Okay, so tadi Circuit Bugatti, ni Estella Forêt. Lepas tu akan masuk Seleko Tête Rouge. Okay, part ni still permanent. Ini simpang masuk ke dalam highway.
Oh, tadi first ke kanan tu masih lagi track lagi.
Ya.
So ada pagar ke apa nanti kat situ?
Dia akan ada just barrier biasa lah. Kat sini ke restoran pronounce nama Perancis ni. Restoran sebab street ni dia punya name after restaurant.
Mana first street, second street?
No, just the whole thing. Mulsanne Street. In French it's named after a restaurant. Nom dia.
Oh, Mulsanne tu nama kedai ke apa?
Mulsanne King, bro.
Yeah.
Sedap.
And I don't know where the KFC is still.
KFC First Street tu.
First Street dia. Masa dekat ada rumah-rumah semua tu kan. Ya, dia ada punya. Aku kalau tak silap restoran lama tu pun ada kat situ kan. Itu information yang penting. So kalau DNF pasal enjin pecah ke apa, dia cari KFC.
Tak boleh balik pit dulu lah.
Ya.
Pit garage.
Pergi balik bawa makanan. Especially kalau accident, terminal damage. Belanja.
Dia pit crew semua.
Ya. Lagi satu fakta daripada useless information part of my brain. The longest sponsorship, one of the longest sponsorships in all of sports is the sponsorship between Rolex and Le Mans 24 Hours. They have always been the official timekeepers.
Rolex.
Ever since the 50s, yeah.
Every year ada host sini Le Mans sini kan, ada tahun yang cancel ke tak jadi ke apa.
Only for World War 1 and World War 2. World War 2 lambat sikit. Dia start balik pada 1949.
Oh.
And that's because the roads were damaged too much, and that's why we lost the hairpin at the start of the lap. Sebab sekarang sebenarnya the pit section tu shortcut. So track ni sebenarnya lagi panjang dulu. Lagi panjang dan banyak before World War 1 World War 2 World War 2
panjang
I think previously was 17 km.
One lap.
Yeah.
Yep.
So cuba bayangkan 17 km dengan kereta yang maybe 200 horsepower max, berat 2000 kilo dan tak ada seatbelt, and still somehow boleh pergi naik sampai kelajuan 250 km sejam kat straight.
Ngeri.
For the fast cars lah, macam blower Bentleys apa semua kan. Itulah driver zaman dulu dengan dia orang punya lampu tu macam kalau JPJ tengok confirm fail.
Tak lulus.
Yeah.
Oh, dulu bahaya lah kereta laju. Ada infamous crash death ke apa ni?
The most infamous crash in history, most infamous racing crash in history, where 150 people died at the start-finish straight in 1955. Itu ialah Pierre Levey bawa kereta Mercedes. Masa tu Mercedes factory team dekat F1, dekat Le Mans, everywhere.
Tahun bila?
1955. Ya. Selepas tu Le Mans yang first masukkan innovation macam proper grandstand, catch fencing, barrier dekat start finish straight. Tapi even then agak bahaya jugalah. Yang barrier yang kamu nampak kat sebelah kiri kanan ni hanya dimasuk pada zaman 70-an. Sebelum tu pokok.
Sebelum tu nothing.
Pokok. Nothing. Pokok.
Okay, kita betul ke ni dah potong Atomic Sim Racing ni?
Ya, nampaknya begitu.
Kita maintain, we still 19 place.
Still?
Aku glitchy lah, sorry lah.
We still have them as in the pits on the screen now.
Fake hope lah.
Fake hope lah. Tak apalah. Screenshot.
Jadi top 10 tu best tu.
Yalah.
Apa nanti this live finish nanti you guys rewind balik. First 30 minutes.
Kita akan overlay lah. Masa finishing tu.
Yes, 3 lap lagi. Then he's going to pit for a second stint.
Alright, just for fuel?
Yep.
And that's going to be the key, I think, is just to not spend any time in the pits. You don't have to.
Kelvinder, you start playing music bila? Lama dah?
Music ah? Wah, that one long story lah.
Play sound.
When I was standard 5. No, standard 4, standard 3.
Serious?
My mom just take me and my brother. You all go meet this place. This Gurdwara in this temple. You go and learn classical music. So I started. Then from there it grew on
That
me.
knowledge is useful, you know. Right now you're writing songs, right?
Not as much as I wish. So I'm not spending. I'm doing so much sim racing, KSS gaming, music, guitar, all collecting dust.
You still have the Explorer lah?
Hey, that one cannot sell. That one my first ever baby. No, must keep. No.
That stays in a rock room all by itself.
Matthew is also a guitar player, you know.
I know intro song all. I know who write.
What a creative way to start your live stream. 3 minutes time you see you play. Not that boring lah. Kalau tidak, the countdown just there.
Yeah. I mean, my acoustic is not just standing there mocking me.
You know what, Kelvinder? My career in this media part actually started when I opened up my jamming studio, recording studio. It's still in business in Bangi since 2003.
Wow. Wow.
Let's face it. Actually, to be honest with you, Adrenaline Impact is just a whole bunch of metalheads that want to go racing.
And then from 2003, jamming studio. Then how come this motorsport came in?
Yeah, very long story. I cut it short lah. 2003, 2004, 2005 was the epic time for jamming that time lah. and business was quite booming, and universities in Bangi is all around and fully booked almost every night. Then this K-pop came in.
Yeah.
K-pop.
No offense to the fan, it's something that is cultural lah. So people less and less play music live, and those that do take it seriously, they all learn home recording. That's a good thing also. We always encourage home recordings also, because equipments are starting to get cheap. The audio interfaces are there are a variety of them you can choose from. Starting from 100 plus ringgit, you can get a very good sound card already.
You get a decent sound card, decent mixing board from China. One of those open source doors, like
actually, you don't need any mixer right now, Matt. You got if you have a good interface with that one can receive guitar input. And you can run all the MSIM on board. All by software.
I still have the.
Kevin, what MSIM you using?
MSIM. Interesting. I use the MSIM just for when I write the song. But then when I want to record it, I just have like a very old amp, but have a simple mic and just mic it up.
Nothing beats.
I don't get like the best sound, but boleh lah like that.
But it's still, I don't know. To me, it still sounds better than impulses or MSIMs for some reason.
Yeah, you don't get the raw. There is this sort of space that it uses. The actual amp, it sounds very authentic. Tapi nowadays it's easy. You just all you need to make music. If let's say you're a guitarist, or maybe you do vocal music, you make voices, you make sounds, and then you make music out of it. All you need is just a simple interface, simple software. You can even get software for free, so you can find so many plugins all over the internet for free. And then you can start from there. It's quite crazy.
Like any kid with a decent microphone and Audacity now can make a masterpiece if he really puts his heart and soul into it. That's the nice thing. It's down to the creativity and not the technical limitations anymore. Having said that, I'm still a 3-chord guy who only does 4ths and 5ths. So. An expert, I am not.
But I've heard your songs, man. It's crazy. There was one song I forgot what it was, but it has a lot of synths, a lot of synthesizer. It's like the whole song is like a guitar solo. Like that was crazy. I remember hearing it a few times.
What's your all-time favorite band, Kevin?
All-time favorite band? I started guitar because I switched from classical music to guitar because of Metallica and because of a friend, an influencer friend, like that. And funny thing is, I just roaming around the house. That time my classmate, he was into metal music, but Metallica and all. Then I was like, wow, he's so cool guy. I just want to be like him. And then at home, just doing nothing, I suddenly found a CD, a Metallica CD. Don't know whose one. I think probably it's my father's one. He just kept quiet in a hotel. I just found a Metallica CD at home. Then I told him, I was like, oh bro, really? Oh bro, okay bro, you write down a list of all the songs. You go listen to this. Like that.
Yeah, I got influence in taking the dark side myself from rallying. Quick pro tip, honestly, hand on heart, circuit racers have the worst taste in music. Rally guys have the best taste in music.
What?
Honestly. I mean, there are some exceptions to the rule, thankfully. But honestly, like, some of the times you go walking through a Asia Le Mans garage when they're setting up and they're playing music, and you just think to yourself, dude, what? But yeah, in rallying, the guy that taught me how to co-drive was a guy by the name of Jagdev Singh, very famous co-driver here in Malaysia, and You see? Faisal Alam, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC.
Really?
So he introduced me to a band by the name of Deep Purple, and I haven't really looked back since. But now you have to ask me, like every day of the week I have a different favorite band. I can't make my mind up. I got really into Arion, which is this Dutch guy's like big metal opera project. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. Luckily, none of the crazy singing, but it's like a little bit Celtic influenced, and all the albums like tell a story, which is kind of cool. All concept albums and stuff like that. So yeah. But when it comes to playing on the guitar, all the Deep Purple riffs, because that's what I learned when I was a kid. The most fun you can have actually when you're jamming is the Black Knight lick. Try and warm everyone up, and by the end of it, you don't realize you've just played through like 7 minutes of just
Yeah.
But unfortunately nowadays, gotten a bit too busy. Again, I keep looking at the guitar now, probably messing up with my mic actually.
How many laps more till he comes home for
He's gonna pit. He's gonna pit in now.
Okay.
I think.
The temperatures must have really dropped quite a bit, because I think across the board people are losing quite a bit of time.
Yeah, it's 19 Celsius.
Yeah, that's getting to the point where you're struggling to keep the temperatures in the tires.
I think he's coming in. Yes. So he's gonna go for
a second stint.
Even the tire wear usage, the temperature of the tires usage all has reduced.
Do you think you'd even dream about going for a third stint on the same set of tires around here?
I think it's possible. But just got to...
It really depends on the driver.
Third stint, you got to really chill, relax.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on how much time you lose as well in the pits, like compared to how much time you lose out on the track compared to fresh set of tires as well. So
yeah. So maybe if you go third stint, you slow down, you don't really drive on the limit.
Yeah,
you lose the time you do.
Yeah, you lose the time you gain in the pits. So, but that's what I find fantastic about endurance racing. There's all this sort of strategy and thinking going behind it. And I've been lucky enough, okay, not for full professional teams, but to be part of like the strategy making process. And it's crazy the amount of work that goes into it, but it's so much fun at the same time. I think if you can't drive in an actual real life endurance race, the second best thing for me is to be on the pit wall. It's fun. You stay awake for 24 hours and you don't really feel it. You feel it on the 25th hour, I can tell you that much. You don't need the champagne to get drunk. You barely crawl into your room, jump in bed, sleep for about 12 hours.
Hello.
Hello. Are you there?
Yeah, suddenly the sound disappeared.
What's the actual standing right now? I don't have. I don't want to bring up my UI on broadcast.
Now P18, bro. P18. Yes.
Betul lah. Okay, now I think the overlays are getting nearer to accurate.
Closer to reality.
Let's see.
The team behind us have been. Yeah, we'll be all right there. Yep, there we go.
Should be a latency of 3 seconds. I think 3 to 4 seconds right now.
The car we over.
You should try the blimp view, and then you can see the entire track. That's quite crazy.
Yeah.
You can really see the outsides and the.
Let's have a peek.
Hutan.
Because I mean, it really is in rural France. Like this is like the equivalent in Malaysia. It'd be like the equivalent of going to like I don't know, Pekan Pahang or somewhere like that. It's so sparse. It's a bit like in Bathurst. You look until you've been up in a helicopter or you've seen the blimp shots of Bathurst, and you realize, yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. That's another racetrack that had dubious safety until recently. I remember watching it as a kid back in the 90s. Actually, no, back in the 90s it didn't have barriers down Conrod Straight, but in the 80s it didn't. It's crazy to think about it
Dia
nowadays.
padam lampu kokpit.
Yeah.
Oh, M8 memang tak ada lampu kokpit ha?
Tak ada.
Tak ada.
Kalau Porsche ada, GT, Ford GT
Ferrari
tak
ada.
pasti.
Kalau tak silap Ferrari ada kan. Yeah. Tapi tengok driver preference lah. Some drivers do better with minimum distraction. Some okay je boleh untuk nak bagi senang nak cari switch.
The Porsche is literally blue in color.
Yeah.
It's damn funny, man. like it's a fast car going fast, but then blue light.
Driving around in a rolling nightclub.
Brought to you by Rolex.
Neon blue car goes past. But it was funny. What was it, last year? They had the car in the original team colors. So like one car was done up in a Rothman's livery, the other car was done up in like a livery of some pork processing company that they used to sponsor. It's like, you guys are not serious somehow. Fortunate Sons Racing. Wow, that's another one that's just come up. But now we see, I think everybody's gone into this sort of the same sort of pit stop window. Pretty much. Oh yeah, we're past the halfway mark.
Hello.
Hello.
Imagine if iRacing does go-karting.
Oh, that would be so much fun. iRacing around Buckmore Park.
Berapa incident point nak bagi weh?
100. Tak ada incident point, just tengok siapa yang deliberate ke tak. Mungkin sebab tu lah dia orang tak buat iRacing go-kart.
Yeah. I think the one thing that's always been missing in iRacing is the weather lah. No rain. That's
And sepang.
sad lah, but
Sad but glad at the same time, because
yeah.
for whatever reason, endurance races always get the worst weather. No, I'll tell you a story. My dad told me when he got back, he was involved with one of the sponsors at the Dubai 24-hour race earlier this year, before the whole lockdown thing happened, and this was the year that the race rained out in Dubai. Of all places, Dubai 12-hour rained out. Even in a desert, endurance racing has weather problems. Kat tengah gunung pun boleh.
F1 for 2020 ni apa yang venue yang tinggal? What venue dah left?
Red Bull, kalau tak silap saya, Red Bull Ring 2, Silverstone 2 kali, Monza,
Silverstone
I
2 kali
believe-
will be is gonna be a replacement race for another venue kan?
yeah. Austria twice is going to be the second one will be a replacement for Dutch Grand Prix, and Silverstone twice will be a replacement technically for the Canadian Grand Prix. And I think we'll be going to Monza and Spa, which is nice because those are the only two races I watch.
F1 first time, right? They had this. They're having this double race.
Yeah, it's the first time they've ever, and they've had to do it because otherwise they'll be in danger of not having enough races for World Championship. So this is another one of those eight races. So it's another one of those things that come back from tradition. The first Formula One World Championship had 8 races in it, and that's why the regulation stands that you have to have 8 races in order to qualify as a World Championship. Yeah, it's literally as simple as that. That was because they've kept adding races. They never really made the calendar smaller. They've always made it bigger. So at one point they just decided that the 1950 season is the smallest season we'll ever have. So the key here is they'll have 2 double-header races, which guarantees 4 rounds. And then I believe it's Spa, Monza, Sochi. No word yet on Azerbaijan, but they'll try and get as close to 8 races as possible in the European season. So the plan, I think, is to still go to Sochi and Baku just to round out and make sure they have the 8 races. Then if they can get anywhere else, most likely in the Middle East, for extra races. But yeah, it's Formula One's got a big loss now. It's unfortunate, but circumstances dictate.
I think it's F1 has always been like hogging the entire motorsport fame. Everybody is like F1, and all the other motorsports kind of doesn't get much attention.
Yeah. Well, especially stuff like endurance racing and a lot of the American racing doesn't get a look at. Like IndyCars, they make the F1 guys just look like amateurs when it comes to wheel-to-wheel racing, because the car is designed to race side by side. That's where they got the idea for like ground effects and stuff for the latest generation of cars coming in 2022. Because the Indy cars nowadays have ground effects to try and get the car to follow each other closely. But now it's great. It's great in a way now because now people are hungry for any sort of motorsports and they're finding out about endurance racing, sim racing, oval racing, drag racing even. It's nice because it's more like what it was back in the old days in the 60s and 70s, where even a Formula One driver was expected to do Le Mans if they can squeeze it in, or do some Can-Am races in the States, like the precursor to IMSA. And it was far more diverse back then.
Like even for iRacing, they started with NASCAR, and they make really good NASCAR games at that time. It was basically a NASCAR simulator, and now it's crazy.
Yeah. Again, it's fantastic that they've diversified, because I remember a time when iRacing was the NASCAR sim, and it was a bit of a big deal when they brought in Watkins Glen. God damn it! This here's a piece of track that's flat and it turns right. I don't want it. And now it's everything. Well, everything circuit racing, anyways, which is fantastic.
The only so basically everything Papyrus released was NASCAR. The only thing that was road racing kind of thing instead of oval circuit racing is Grand Prix Legends, which they had the Formula 1, Formula 2 of 1967 season. So that's where the original Nordschleifer was on the 1967. So I guess from there they branched out into. There's a video of it on YouTube. They talk about how they envisioned Nordschleifer of 1967 using photos and all, and how they brought it into iRacing. So it was a very emotional one.
Yeah. No, it's amazing being able to drive around the old Norse life, the old Monza with the banks. It's something you cannot do anymore in real life, and it's nice to see that they're trying to bring that back to life, because it is a unique experience to watch the racing there. And I must say, Monza Madness was fun until that incident, which we won't talk about. But yeah, but I remember Grand Prix Legends, and I remember the README file. And the first chapter of the README file, after you get past like installing the game and all the technical stuff, literally the first thing they said was, when you first drive this, you should drive it in practice because you will spin. Because
Yep.
no one was prepared for that level of realism back then. It was the only real racing sim that wasn't a Formula 1 sim. And I mean, for me, Formula 1...
Yep, that section, I tell you, nope. This car in that section, nope, nope. It just wants speed, man. A little bit extra throttle, that's it.
Yeah, it's a big part throttle place. But well, now that we've all had our compulsory midnight heart attack from that, come on, Zai, don't let us down now. But he's been doing okay actually so far.
Yeah.
Constant laps. I don't know what happened to lap 211. Is that the pit lap? I think that's pit lap, right?
Yeah, I think that must have been the pit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 604.
So that's pit in for that. The rest of it's like 203, 204. I think most of the guys are doing that. The guys in front are also doing 204s. Just having a quick look at the timing.
His pitted lap is like 1 minute extra because there was a optional repair which he had done, so thought just do it lap one.
Yeah. Well, an extra minute, if it means the car drives better and safer, most importantly, it might be crucial, because you don't really want to be the hero that drives a wreckage across the finish line, because you might not make it.
Yeah, the only problem with the car, steering, handling, everything's fine. Only issue is the aero, so you lose a lot of top speed. We are losing like about maybe 10 kilometers per hour on the straights, which is a lot.
Yeah. I mean, having said that, just quick glance up and down the leaderboard. Aramathra in the 4th place car, Ice Dragons, he's lapping in 403s. 3rd place man, Zim Addison, AIE Racing Orange, he's doing it too. He's in the 4 minutes as well. There's only 2 cars in the 3 minutes up the front. And a couple further behind, in 6th and 7th, Mark 1 and the fake Porsche GTE team. I think they're trying to claw their way back up the field, looking at the fastest time. But yeah, in reality, everyone's slowed down quite a lot.
Yeah, now we are in 18, so position 17 is 1 lap in front.
Yeah.
So might be a bit tricky.
That's the kind of thing you're going to have to basically plan your next few stints on trying to catch them. But I mean, the night is long. The race is still long.
What was that?
Whew. You know what I was saying about graveyard shift? I think Side's got it. Someone give that man an ice cream when he gets out of the car.
I want to rewind that part.
So someone has come. Oh wow, okay.
just in time.
It's a good job the guy backed up, basically. That was frightening.
Lucky slow section. Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to think of what that accident would be like if it was down at Mulsanne. But that's the tricky thing, trying to avoid things like that at this hour of the night. Because, like I said at the top of the hour, everyone's just crazy right now. I don't know what it is. It's delusion, paranoia, the ghosts of the drivers who have passed away here. Back when this was a flat-out straight, because this used to be flat-out all the way from the pits through the Dunlop Bridge. Just watching I believe the 1971 race, or a video from a photographer taking pictures, and there was a privateer Porsche that crashed during night practice. And basically, the rear end of the car was completely torn off from the front end of the car, and the driver was thrown out of the car. The helmet was thrown off the driver's head, and somehow he managed to land on a hay bale, completely uninjured.
On a hay bale?
We didn't have barriers back then. There was no engineering. It was all hay bales, like in MotoGP. Except they realized that hay bales weren't very effective at stopping cars. But yeah, at the first corner, it was a huge accident. The guy got out unscathed. And the quote he gave to the newspaper was, "Why am I still alive?" But yeah.
Lavender, who's up next? Sebenarnya either Mohaimin or Kavinder lah kan. I think it's
takkan
Kavinder
Mohaimin
lah
kot.
kot. Mohaimin just
Takkan Mohaimin pula.
Kavinder lah kot. Maybe dia quick break tu pergi makan tu.
Iyalah.
So Matt, I think we'll try to cover Team A for the finish tomorrow.
Alrighty.
I think as early as what time is a good time to enter the server?
I don't know. I'd have to guess, but as early as you can. I'll probably be trying to start maybe 7:30 or 8 for myself, because it's been quite a late night and I want to get a bit of sleep for tomorrow.
Yeah.
But maybe the server can start at something like 6 or 7 if you can.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
Get
can set it
some
up.
sleep. We got less than
Yeah, we got a
maybe 6 hours, 11 hours.
yeah.
Get some hardcore sleep.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we've got a big day tomorrow. We've got the finish of the race, and later on in the evening we also have the second round of the Adrenaline Impact Malaysia Championship. That's going to be good around Okayama.
I think for the server start tomorrow is 9 p.m. But the race, the second group of Le Mans wouldn't be finishing until I think around about 9:30 plus, right? Because they didn't start at 9 sharp. They started 9:20, 9:30 something, I think.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure. How
So
they do it.
when you start the server, when you join the 9 a.m. one, like now will be 9 p.m. right? Recently, a few hours ago, you would have 20 minutes practice and then 25 minutes qualifying, and then the race
Yeah.
start.
Okay. I hope tomorrow the server. Oh, yeah, flashing.
Yeah, for Le Mans and for most endurance racing, flashing is actually something that is not only allowed but encouraged by the organizers. This is purely and simply because there is no human being on the planet that isn't sleep deprived at now, pounding around here at night, and it's a good way to communicate to the car in front that you're getting through, especially if you're catching someone really fast. And common courtesy would be to flash them pull over, make sure they can see you in the mirrors. Basically, make sure they have no excuses for crashing into you before going past. But yeah, sometimes people use it for intimidation, and organizers tend to not like that too much.
Okay, Kavinder, I think we're gonna go offline for a couple of 6 to 7 hours, and we're gonna catch Team A to the finish. So best of luck tonight. Who's up next?
Zainul is he has about maybe 30 minutes, and then Shami Azri will take over for 2 stints, and then I might be taking over after that lah.
Okay.
I guess we 3 will just take turns lah after that to finish up.
Alright, best of luck. If I can't sleep, I'll just share your stream if you have.
Yep. Thank you. I'm still streaming though. Once 8 hours finish, I will do another stream just to stream until finish.
You better refresh a new stream before 8 hours, just not to lose. I think you can lose your Facebook post, live post if it exceeds 8 hours, right?
Yep. Tadi dah buat dah. Tadi 6 jam 40 minit, then I quickly buat baru.
Anytime yang you rasa sesuai before 8 hours, better you refresh a new post lah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, best of luck guys. Muhaimin
Thank you guys.
Alright, best of luck to Kavinder and to all the guys in SRE Team B and to all the Malaysian teams competing right now in the iRacing 24-hour of Le Mans. And hopefully we'll see you guys bright and early in the morning tomorrow for the final push to the checkered flag. We'll be covering SRE Team A, but we'll be checking in on everybody's progress throughout the morning session. And later on in the evening we'll have the Adrenaline Impact Malaysian iRacing Championship, which is going to be very, very exciting at Okayama on the little MX-5 cars. We'll see if our intrepid endurance racers will have enough energy to do that one as well. We hope to see some of the guys down there at least. And yeah. So for now, it's going to be a very good evening from our director, Carol Allen, and from myself, Matt Palmer. And we will see you all in about 6 hours.
Night.
Ta-ra.